Hi guys, welcome to Souls Know Evolution. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. This is going to be your guidance message for Friday the 27th through to Sunday the 29th of March 2020. Hope you're all doing well, keeping your vibration and your spirits as high as to be expected during these times. I am going to be pulling some tarot cards for today's reading, but I'm going to start off with a card from the Angels, Gods and Goddesses deck. I nearly forgot what it was called then. So we'll pull one of these and get a nice message, and then we'll pull some tarot and see what we've got going on. Right, okay. We don't have any jumpers. So let's pull one of these. We have the Angel of Joyfulness, and we had this in the last reading that I did. Something wondrous and magical is about to happen. Absolutely beautiful, and to me it looks as though she's kind of emerging or unfolding. But I was saying that we're going to be pulling from this new tarot deck. I'm not repeating all of what I did say. Let's just jump straight into the reading and let's see what's going on. I think my memory might be full on my camera, so that may be one of the reasons why it did cut out. But I will delete, let's get this one, some footage once I've recorded this. Right, okay, so I don't seem to have any jumpers today. I don't know what that means, but they're usually flying all over the place. Okay, let's get this one. Well, they've got two. That was the one I wanted next. And I don't know if they're upside down, reversed, or what. Wow, 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 wow. Right, okay. So let's start with these, and I'll pull those ones in a moment. So we have the Seven of Cups, fear. Can you see that? Interesting. Right, okay. We have the Woman of Wands, which is the equivalent to the Queen of Wands. And we have the Seven of Crystals, which is the Seven of Swords, and that's now in reverse. I did spin it round. I remember seeing it and turning it round, but it's called dullness in this particular deck. But the Seven of Swords, so two sevens. And then we've got the Six of Cups, sorrow. That's in the reversed. Beautiful. We've got the Seven of Wands, courage. So the third seven in the reading. We have the Hanged Man, major arcana. And then we have creativity, the Three of Crystals. And this is the Three of Swords. Crystals are swords in this deck. Yeah, that's right. Let's pop that there. Interesting, interesting reading. Like I said, the images on these cards are very, very different to the traditional tarot. So we'll jump into this. The first card out, we've got the Seven of Cups underpinned with the Six of Cups in reverse. So we have fear, and then we have sorrow. So I feel as though, like I said, with this dark and light aspect, there's something that you're overcoming, this expansion in your consciousness, maybe bringing up fears. What we're going through at the moment collectively, globally, again, maybe bringing up fears. Now, it's a quick story, and I am going to actually share it with you, but I had to stop myself yesterday. I found myself on eBay hunting out face masks and bloody gloves. And I just all of a sudden got so paranoid, and I'd gone shopping, and I think half of the people in the supermarket had face masks on and gloves on. And up until that point, I didn't have any fear about it whatsoever. But it's, I suppose, looking at, seeing how other people are responding and reacting to this crisis that literally instilled the fear of God in me. I literally came home and I'm like, right, okay, if everyone is out there protecting themselves, I need to be protecting myself too. So it's like, because it's that understanding of the shadow, or where that energy comes from though, that I managed to talk myself away from purchasing these items, because I didn't feel I needed them prior to leaving my house. So I wasn't going to be feared or scaremongered into making a purchase that, in all intents and purposes, I don't personally feel was going to do anything for me. So it's about overcoming these fears that we're all dealing with. Now, the Seven of Cups in this particular deck, what's standing out to me, to me, it just feels as though I don't know if this is the case, but it feels to me as though these objects are like being submerged underwater. It almost looks like the contents of like a shipwreck or something that's all spilt out of the boat. I'm just seeing this huge wave. So like I say, if there is a wave of fear that is coming over you over this weekend, then it's about stepping back, like I said, allowing the joyfulness within you to emerge. It's about allowing you to connect with your crown chakra, like I was saying, and having an expansion of your consciousness or your intelligence, taking that step back, which allows you to sort of engage in deep thought about what it is that you're doing, the actions that you're about to take. Beautifully profound, I think, especially in light of what's going on. Now, this Seven of Cups is underpinned with the Six of Cups, and it's in reversed, and it's about sorrow. So there is an overcoming of this feeling of sorrow and allowing yourself to replace this feeling of sadness or sorrow with joy. And like I say, it's going to require you to incorporate that shadow aspect of yourself, the bit that is fearful or scared in relation to anything that you're dealing with in your life. But in the upright position, again, we've got an outpouring here of this vase, this jug, and I'm just seeing the elephants that are surrounding it. And to me, elephants, they speak about that stable, strong energy, but it's also what springs to mind is that elephants never forget. So it's about you releasing whatever it is from the past that you've been holding on to, that is, like I say, allowing you, well, it's submerging you within this fear. It's about releasing that and letting it go. Purple, like I say, is related to our third eye, which is all about our extrasensory perception, our intuition. It's our second sight. It's our ability to see but not using our eyes. So it's about tuning out what you can physically see, what's going on around you. Like I say, the people that I'm walking into and driving past and walking past that have got all these masks on, it's tuning that out and using your third eye to help you come to a conclusion or to come to some kind of decision. Right, let's move on. Then we've got this Woman of Wands. And I find it amazing because this is called Sensor in this particular deck. And I was just talking about these extrasensory perceptions that I was picking up from this Six of Cups. And again, to me, it's like the Queen of Wands in effect in the traditional tarot. So it's about being confident in the actions that you're taking, why you're taking the actions that you're taking. Like I say, is this coming from your own, let's say, senses, your own guidance, what you're intuitively being encouraged to do? Are you looking outside of yourself? Are you looking with your human eyes at what's going on, that everybody around you is submerged in this fear, and then taking action steps because of that? Now, I've been saying for the last week or two to step out into this situation or make choices and actions based from a place of love as opposed to fear. And I know it's easier said than done, and that's why I had to kind of talk myself and delete those items out of my shopping basket, because when I kind of came to, I'm like, why are you doing this? Is this you acting from a place of love, or is this you acting from a place of fear because you've seen how everybody else is responding and reacting? I call upon, let's say, my strength from a different place. So it meant me going into meditation. It meant me taking that step back. It meant me calling on having faith in things that I cannot see. But I know, in previous situations outside of what we're dealing with now, that have protected me and been there for me and offered me, such clear guidance to move forward. And then underneath that, we have courage. So like I said, it's about taking action based from a place of courage. The Seven of Wands is about defending yourself, sticking up for yourself. We had this, I think, in the reading at the beginning of the week as well. So it's taking action from this confident position, this confident stance, tuning into your intuition, like I say, and once you've connected to that extrasensory perception, it's having the courage to take action, even if it looks different to everything that's going on around you. It's having courage from that higher perspective, from that higher vantage point, to take action in accordance to your senses, in accordance to, how you feel, or what you want to do, how you want to move things forward, and not being swayed by the fears that are going on externally to you. Right, okay. The next two cards, we have the Seven of Swords in reversed. The crystals are swords in this particular deck. And the reason being is that crystals are, they can be sharp, just as our words can be sharp. The swords always speak about our communication and our thinking, our mindset. Now, the Seven of Swords in the upright position would usually speak about deception or trickery. In this particular deck, it's called dullness. And as I said, the crystals are sharp. So it's like, how I'm interpreting this interpretation of the card is that with it being in reversed, is that you've lost your sharpness in relation to something, and it may be the fear, it may be what's going on around you at the moment that's trying to, whether it's dull your shine, because crystals are, they're beautiful. They're shiny. They're reminds me of, like, magpies attracted to colourful, bright things. And this card is the absolute opposite of that. It looks very mineral. It looks very basic. And it does look dull, really, really dull in comparison to some of the other cards. So, like I say, it's looking at where your shine has been dulled in some way. And that may have nothing to do with what's, currently going on. This can stem back to something from the past, because we do have the Six of Cups on the table as well. But as I say, as you integrate your shadow into, who you are, it's by accepting all aspects of yourself, including the bits, like I said in a previous reading, the bits that, you're told that aren't any good, or that you shouldn't shine, or that you shouldn't put on display. When you integrate those bits that you have been hiding from yourself and from the world, that is what's going to lead you to this joyfulness. It's going to allow this emergence. It's going to allow this raising of your consciousness here. Right, and then the bottom of that, we've got the Hanged Man, which sums everything up beautifully, because the Hanged Man is that change of perception. It's you taking that voluntary time out, or some kind of voluntary sacrifice, so that you can see where your, let's say, your shine has been dulled. What has dulled it? What can you do, or what do you need to do to switch that light back on within yourself? I usually speak about, shining your flame, or allowing your flame to be seen. We don't have flames in these particular cards, but I'm picking up that same kind of energy. Like I say, this is really dull. It's really boring. It lacks luster. So it's about changing your perspective, taking the time if you need to gain a new sense of self, to gain a new perspective. I'm just seeing a guy's reflection in this crystal ball here that's being held in this person's hands. So it's about looking at yourself and in relation to where you feel as though your sparkle has gone, and reigniting that energy within yourself. I'm just also seeing this vortex here. So it's taking that step back and not allowing yourself to be sucked into, like I say, the fear of what's going on around you at the moment, or even the fear that you have within yourself. And it could be the fear, like I say, of this shadow element or aspect of who you are, what you've been through, or like I say, your perceptions. But there's something here about needing to really look at how you perceive yourself, or how you perceive those parts of yourself that you've hidden. Because it says there that what you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. There's nothing about you or nothing of you that is a waste. There's nothing about you or nothing of you that, you're not supposed to fully pull in. We're whole people, and whole people aren't 100% good, and they're not 100% bad. Great people can do really bad things, and bad people can do really great things. So it's about incorporating all of those aspects of who we are, and that's what makes us who we are. And then we have the Three of crystals. And like I said, the crystals in this deck are the Swords cards, but this is called creativity. And I love, love, love that. And I love the fact that none of these images represent how they do traditionally in the tarot, because it allows me as a reader to get a completely different message that's not bound by the imagery. Because of the cards that have come out, it says here, what you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. And it's got something to do with, like I say, transmuting whatever pain, whatever separation, whatever sadness you've experienced. It's about, like I say, turning that light back on. Look at the difference, the stark difference in terms of the colour in these cards. Like I say, this to me is that representation of all of your sparkle. So it's about turning your dullness, transmuting the pain, let's say the being stabbed in the back or stolen from, or having to deal with narcissistic energied people. It's about channeling that now into your creativity. And this has been a reoccurring theme in a lot of the readings that we've done in the last week or so, that speak about using this time to tap into your creativity. And what I will say is that the best art, whether it's musical, whether it is physical, as in, you know, drawings or paintings or sculptures, but the best art comes from our shadow. It comes from those painful experiences. What's her name? Adele. I think her first album was all about, you know, having her heart broken, and, you know, I don't know if she was, no, I don't think she was married, but the boyfriend or the partner that she had at the time, or the shit that he'd put her through, and she channeled all of that pain into creating beautiful music, all of that fear, all of the past. Like I say, she was able to take a stand up for herself, rewrite, rework that experience, that it became something beautiful, not only for herself, but for us as the consumer of her art to also enjoy. And that's what we all do. I'm just using Adele because I think we should all kind of know who Adele is. But that's what we all do, or what we all have the potential to do. And when I talk about transmuting energy, or coming from a place of love as opposed to fear, it's not pretending that the fear doesn't exist. It's recognizing the fear, understanding where it comes from, and then making a choice to change your perception with this Hanged Man, and having the courage to take action with that fear, with that sadness, to create something really beautiful. Right, I don't know what kind of reading that was, but, you know, that was the reading. I'm going to pull, let's pull one of these. I want to pull one on this Seven of Swords in reversed. So let's see what we've got going on. But really, really different, and I do actually really like these cards. Oh my gosh. I've just been talking about crystals, and like I said, the sharpness of them, and the fact that they represent swords energy, which is all about our mental focus. And again, I'm going to hold these three cards up now, because the purple is what's standing out. And like I said in this first card, it's like a lotus flower to me, and that sort of emergence from a shitty, murky situation. I think lotus flowers, I'm skipping ahead, it's like my brain is like zoo. Lotus flowers, they sit on the surface of the water, don't they? But their root is connected to all the muck and the grime and the dirt that's underneath the surface that, you know, you don't even know is there. I didn't know, but recently learned that at night time a lotus flower closes up, and it's only in the daylight that it re-emerges. So as I'm saying about this night time, that's the shadow, that's the darkness. But you can always emerge. There's always a new day. There's always the chance for you to raise your consciousness. Like I said, to connect with your intelligence, which is the sword's energy. It's to allow deep thought during times of darkness, so that you can emerge out of these situations changed and whole, fully integrated. Wow. But yeah, and then I also mentioned this outpouring of the stuff from the past. It's about where you choose to put your focus. As I said, these elephants never forget, but it's all about the way, or how you choose to engage with the past experiences that we've had, where we choose to put our focus. So that's absolutely beautiful energy. So it just reaffirms, confirms, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, exactly what we've been talking about. Oh my goodness. And I mentioned Adele. Look at that, music's come up. And what else? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm getting like super excited. It's so sad. But I was talking about this joyfulness that emerges from the darkness. So submerged, being an iceberg, we only see the tip of the surface with an iceberg. Think of the Titanic. You know, it hit an iceberg, but the iceberg was hardly visible, you know, from, I don't know what you call it, but that bit where the lookout on the top of the ship is, you know, with his binoculars. They could see an iceberg, but they had no idea the depth of what was below the surface. And I mentioned about the lotus flower. You can't see how it's connected to the root below the surface of the water. So there's something here about the past, or these past experiences that you've personally been through, what we're dealing with right now. We're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here, and it is having, let's say, more of an impact, more of an effect on people. Like I said to you, I would consider myself pretty optimistic, especially in the line of work that I do and the guidance that I'm receiving. And even me, it managed to pull my fears up out of I don't know where. And I got home, like I said, I was on the computer like, oh my God, I need some face masks. Oh my God, I need like a cover for the trolley for Safi. So it's not allowing those deep-rooted or deep-seated or deep fears to sink your ship, basically. Wow. And then finally we've got music and harmony, and that's exactly what I said with this transmutation of energy. It's taking something that would be deemed as negative or dark, and to create that harmony from it, like I explained perfectly with the Adele example. I don't think I need to go into it again, but a lot of art is created from a place of darkness. It helps the creator to like I say, change the way they feel about a particular situation, to rewrite that story, you know, to engage with that experience in a completely different way from an outside perspective, rather than being submerged by the feeling of it all. And it's all about how we choose to place our focus. Whew, right, that's me done. Let me pull one of these and get a guidance message to wrap this up. But wow. I don't want my camera to cut out again, and I don't know how much longer I've got, but I am going to have a good delete session after this and create some space. Right, okay, let's get this one. Trustworthy guidance. Yep. We've had this so many times, but it says you've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. So like I say, this to me is bringing up the stuff from the past, the fears, transmuting that energy into a creative idea, refocusing the way that you perceive this situation, getting a new perspective on it, and channeling all of that through your creativity. Right then, guys, that's kind of blown my mind, and I absolutely love my new tarot deck. I didn't think I would, but wow. Right, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.